Hello everyone, welcome. We're going to jump into a traditional draft of Zendikar Rising. This one's my choice. I was feeling a little best of 3 today, so that's what we're going to do. We are low on coinage, so we're going to go with gems today. Actually, we're low on gems by our standards around here. We've dipped below 30,000. Now, some of that's because we have the factors that have my gems going in the wrong direction include, well, just medium results on Zendikar Rising, but also, first, this happens at the beginning of a format because I don't have the full set yet. Often by the end, when I start generating actual gems because of 4x completion, you start to push it back faster upward. Although at that point, these days I've been suspending play and working on other accounts in that case. That's part of it. The other thing is I've bought some bling. You know, I've actually, since we do have a cushion, I have spent gems on card backs and whatnot. So that's also part of that bleed. And finally, they got me with Jumpstart. They really did. I put a lot of gems and coins into Jumpstart because I found it fun, a fun way to, especially on weekends. Like, I try not to play limited on this main account offline. I try to do all of my limited with you on air on this account. So Jumpstart was a great way for me to get a limited experience, a limited style experience on my main account on the weekends without feeling like I was betraying my principles of drafting with you all on this account. So, yeah, we haven't got a puppet yet, Mama, but you know, there's always something to hope for, right? Anyway, Mama would like to spend more on bling. I'm a little bit more conservative because I'm always afraid of my 7 event losing streak. You know, the 7 events that I'm going to go 0-3 in, and I need this cushion to not drain my gems. But no, we've had solid success, and we've been able to spend pretty freely our gems without being too concerned. If you've got some real-world gems to spend freely on Magic stuff, though, I know where you should go for that. You do, too. My sponsor, CardKingdom.com. You can find them at CardKingdom.com. But the best way to find them from me is to use the affiliate link in my panels down below, or the one that is Hat put in chat there, as he always does for me. And for those of you watching on YouTube, of course, you can check my video notes and see my link to Card Kingdom. And if you go to Card Kingdom, you're going to find the best retailer for Magic you can find. Best buy prices, incredible inventory, and they've been supporting me for years. And if you go there through my affiliate link, they know that you got there from here, and that helps let them know how you got there, and it helps keep me on the air. Here we go. Calls for Jace Puppet. I don't know why you want me to spend gems on something that's just going to sit there unused. Can't we wait for it to be on sale? Surely the Jace Puppet will go on sale someday. Looks like best of 3 slowing down a bit already. Is that what's going on here? This is a little bit long for queue filling, but maybe we're already slowing on this queue a little bit. I don't know. Anybody playing a lot of best of 3 notice a shift? And then snap, just like that. We're full. Thieving Skydiver. Fine. as a rare, but not a bomby rare. Fundamentally, a 2/1 flyer for 2 is just darn good in limited, and then of course you've got some ability to steal some equipment. Not nothing in this format, but that's kind of a minor deal. This is really a 2/1 flyer for 2 at its heart, and if you can get something out of it in addition, great. There's Ruin Crab. We could start on the Ruin and see about making this work. I do like starting on a Ruin Crab because it gives us a reasonable chance of finding another one. And yeah, you can also kick it to gain 2 life or whatever, even if you're not getting anything. Speaking of that, Low Mage is familiar, also appealing. I'm between Crab and Skydiver here. There's no good real. There is Rabid Bite, but there's no real removal in the pack. I don't like crabbing it that much, but I think we can start here and go there if the deck calls us. It's a pretty powerful ability if you can build around it. Yeah, Skydiver is good. Again, it's a 2/1 flyer for 2, and that's a fine Magic card. I have no problems with that at all. But also, this is an interesting thing. Yeah, that's true. You can steal pack beasts. It doesn't have to be equipment per se. But we can take the spoils here. This Ruin Crab and Spoils of Adventure don't generally go in the same deck, even though they both have a blue mana symbol on them. At least I wouldn't. I mean, I guess Spoils can go in any deck, if we're honest, right? If you're playing blue-white, fine, but I just don't think of Ruin Crab as a blue-white card. That being said, what are we taking if not this? Like, the land? Like, this is a bad pack. Horn Beetle is very, very build-around, and I would rather just take clear, obvious value that's half color than mess around with any of these very medium cards. So I'm just going to let time expire on Spoils. Spoils and Royals. Feed the Swarm is solid removal, but we see this go very late. Maybe later than it should. I think that life cost drawback turns off some players and they value it lower than they should. But I also don't want to pivot to it if we can find, if we're happy with like a Royal Mage. Yeah, Riptide is interesting as well. This is somewhat of a payoff for heading in this direction. But Royal Mage is just it's fine. It's good. It's actively good. I actually have come up on Ardent Electromancer. I always thought it had potential, but it's amazing how on turn 4, 5, or 6, tossing an Electromancer into the mix can just explode your hand out and put you on such the front foot that your opponent can't recover. It's a pretty sneaky card that way. Chilling Trap, if we end up Wizards, is pretty good. And if we do the Spoils thing, we should kind of end up in everything. And we have one Wizard here. Deliberate, I would... there's also Visionary. Maybe we just take Visionary and then see about wheeling the Chilling Trap. I have done the green-blue Wizard thing before, and it's not the worst. In this case, Baloth is also good, but I think I like the straight-up value card, Visionary value card here. I don't want to take, like you say, take a rogue. You mean the Sky Dancer or the Silencer? Has slid almost to unplayable to me, and Sky Dancer is also pretty weak as a 1 toughness card. I'm just going to take the Visionary. Arbor Mage, somewhat of a reward for picking up the Visionary. It's not amazing, but it's a wizard. It does do the blue-green wizard thing, which is kind of weird, but it works. And this is good. Like, I've come up on this as well. I was underrating how powerful that lure effect can be. Sometimes this is 6 mana, break the stalemate, win the game. I've lost to this. I've beat people with this. We have a Blight Blade that we can pick up for future Rabid Bites. We can just grab a Glacial Grasp. If we get Wizard rewards, they tend to be Wizard, Sorcery, or Instant. So then we can do the Grasp plus, and it's very tempo-oriented. We can be potentially ramping into big stuff and then grasping to get it through. Sentinel for a kicker card. David likes the Sentinel. I think either of these 3 are defensible in my opinion. I kind of like the Elf Rogue in case we splash spoils. I hear you, David. Maybe I'm supposed to be taking the Sentinel here, but we're in green. If we pick up some Rabid Bites, we'll be happy to have a Blight Blade or two. If I knew I was going to get one, pick 7, I would take one of those other cards and spread out where we are starting. We could take Anti-Cog. Yeah, this is not bad. It's not... maybe it's more playable than it looks. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it is playable. When I first saw it, and I was thinking it might not be playable. So yes, I do consider this more playable, but I'm going to take another blade. On the feeling that we're likely to get some bites for them. Survivor is interesting for the potential spoils thing that I was talking about, but Vision is too hard to pass here. We are not really spell heavy yet, so right now this isn't even making the cut over an island because we can only get spoils, but we're hoping to pick up the spells from here to make this work. But I also don't mind either of these green cards in the potential of a spoils splash. Squid is fine. Again, if we end up tempo, aggro, ramp and taunt and freeze. I mean, I didn't take the chilling grasp, but we might end up with one of those. Or not, I think I'm conflating card names. You know what I mean, though. We didn't take the 3-mana tap and freeze, but if we get some more of those in the future, that could be. Here's a green cleric, again, thinking about the spoils side of town. Seagate would be a reward for all of that, but green comes with its own big creature rewards, so I'm less interested in Seagate Colossus in green than maybe I would be in a different type of deck. Broken Wings, best of 3 here, so I like having one of these. Deliberate, playable, not exciting. Sentinel comes back, or we're getting a different one. Either way, happy to get a Sentinel there. And we get an Anti-Cog back. Nice. Linvala. Interesting. I mean, we have spoils that I was already looking at splashing. Linvala is a reward for full party. We could take the Linvala and really look to find something like a Roiling Regrowth or other green fixer. Yeah, and that's the problem, though. What we're giving up, if we take this, is Vine Gecko and Scythe Cat. Yeah, although I would say that the value of Linvala outside of the party stuff is in being an on-curve 3/3 flyer for 3, and that's going to be tougher to come by. Yeah, I think it's Gecko or taking a shot on Linvala. Probably this is the grown-up pick. I think I am going to go Gecko. I love 2-drops. I love consistency, and if we are looking base blue-green, and base blue-green loves a Vine Gecko. There's so much kicker going on here. Here's the type of card I was looking for to justify the Linvala, though. But in this case, I would rather take the Scythe Cat and look to wheel Visionary. And we could even take the kicker card, knowing that we have some kicker rewards. But I think this is not quite good enough to take here. Even though I would like to be able to cast the spoils, I think we would just rather have a solid critter like the kitty. This is kind of splashable. I've been very impressed with the Shepherd. It bums me out every time it drops down against me. And look, yeah, white's looking pretty good in this pack. We're going to take the kitty. Another kitty. We could take a pack beast under the expectation that we're going to be trying to do this. But I don't think we need to take a pack beast over a second side kitty. Watkus likes the pack beast. Maybe it's a curve thing. We're also doing pretty decently at 2, although I don't like Deliberate there because it's not what I want to do on 2. But all of these represent cards that I would be happy to cast with 2 land in play. So I'm going to take what I think is a more powerful card, which is the Scythe Cat. If we were doing more with full party, I might lean to the Pack Beast, or like we had taken Linvala even. And we have another spoils opportunity here. It's only pack 2. I'm going to take it and really work hard on casting this now. I think with 2 of them and a base green deck, we should take spoils and try to make that work. This is interesting as well to both add to the party and try and loot, but it's tough to get through 4-drop. All right. Diviner. I want kicker stuff, really, but Diviner is fine. Good flying wizard. Likely to draw a card if it dies in this deck. Chilling Trap works that more directly, but here's the Reclaim the Waste. This is what we want now. I like the I would play the Veil. I'm up on the Veil. I mean, as on the relative scale of where we're at on these land cards, I've come up on it. Wouldn't mind a Grasp in this deck. Chilling Trap is going to draw a card in this deck, but Reclaim lets us head towards spoils. Royal Mage or Field Research? I think we just want the Royal Mage. Royal Mage, if you can get to 6+ mana, Royal Mage really starts to take over. It gets silly stuff back. I mean, you start in black, you can get back Reanimation for loops. In this, you can get back Into the Royals for a loop. And there's just all sorts of shenanigans you can pull off with the Royal Mage. Nothing much here for us. We could take a Duelist and think about running it. It becomes a rogue for double spoils. It can be used as a combat trick decently effectively. I'm pretty unhappy with the body it leaves behind if having a rogue on the battlefield isn't particularly valuable. But we can certainly take it and see what our deck looks like after we're done with the draft. Very easy, and welcome Glacial Grasp here. I don't know if we play it, but like also it helps with justifying playing something like Silundi Vision. I'm going to go with our kicker flyer over the really generic Tempest. This isn't unplayable, but this is more what we're trying to do here. I also don't want to do this on 2 if I can help it, but I'm going to pull that into the sideboard and see. This is good to see. We got all this going on. I think Might, I would play a Might, but I think we want to be kind of tempo aggro with where we're headed here. Although the Skyclave Sentinel doesn't really do that, so we'll think about that. But I like a second Squid here and really try to get him down and then refill. Last pick, Chilling Trap is good. Hey, now. That's not a bad thing to see. Pack 3, pick 1. All right. I gotta actually figure this card out now. I think I understand how it works, but let's read together. Verizal, the Split Current, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you may remove 2 counters. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets. So we're looking to get at least, you want counters in multiples of 2 so that you can copy stuff. And right now, actually, it's not amazing for us, but Gecko makes it cheaper. No, it doesn't have a kicker itself, but Gecko making other stuff cheaper helps with the copying. Anyway, obviously we have to take that, but I'm just saying right now it's actually not amazing. We need some action for it to be amazing, and then of course we get like about the worst pack 3 pick 2 I could imagine. That still has a card of each color for us. And hey, don't worry, we're splashing white, so we can take what? Jerboa? No. None of this is good. So, I guess I'll take a Chilling Trap. If we end up with a density of wizards, we might play it. Oh, right, sorry. Let's look at that. It does... So I was confusing this, thinking you had to spend like 4 mana to get a 2/2, but it's X +1/+1 counter for each mana spent to cast it. So it does land as an XX. So that's good. Thanks for that clarification. I was trying to read. Sometimes you read and still don't understand what your card does. Another Royal Mage or another Spoils? Maybe we just take the Royal Mage and get back our Spoils. I think that's probably correct. It's tempting to take a third Spoils because, my gosh, it's a good card. But really, 3 Royal Mages is a third copy of Spoils. All right. Veteran Adventurer is looking for something along the lines of a full party, so is Spoils. So we'll take the Veteran Adventurer here. Pickaxe, not for this deck. Although we are, if we wanted to be hyper aggro, we could make, you know, we are trying to play like squids and whatnot. But I think the Florahedron is still just good enough to take here. We could also take Reclaim to better ensure the spoils. If we really want the spoils, we should probably take the Reclaim. We're in pack 3, pick 5. These are both interesting, but I do want to lock down the spoils, so I'm going to take a lesser card in the abstract for the purposes of our deck. Fortification is reasonable here over a 4th Royal Mage. We have a Gnarlid Colony 2, though. It's got Kicker and is a nice 2-drop slot. Yeah, maybe it is Colony. Yeah, the Kicker, but this is land spells. Come on, you're hardly ever too wrong to take an on-color Spland. Are we playing either of these? I don't know if we're playing the first Duelist. We could take Zendikar because we... Oh, do we have any of the... What do we even have? We have a Vision. I don't even know if we're playing the Vision over an island at this point. I'll play it, though that might give us the reason to play the Vision. Or it could be... Here we'll take a Riptide over another... Oh, we certainly don't need a third Blightblade. We're probably cutting one of the ones we have. Don't have quite as much Kicker as I wanted to see here, honestly. No party synergy, but it's trying to have Kicker synergy. Well, we'll see. We'll take a look. It was the only pick, and we'll see what this all balances out to. I'll take this Squid, though. I think we are just going to try and be aggro beats. And the Brute is good for that. We have a couple of Broken Wings in the board. I'm going to cut the Crab. Ooh, Might of Marasa versus Baloth. Wow, this is actually tough. I've only got a handful of seconds, but I'm going to take the Might narrowly. Because if we can copy a kicked Might and do 10, extra 10, that would be game winning, potentially. Yeah, no bubbles, no royals, and no roosts. No bubbles, royals, or roosts means this cannot be an amazing Kicker deck, but this can still be a fine deck. We just have to figure it out here. Probably cutting stuff that just doesn't look good to me given what we're trying to do. I do want to try and get down and be aggro here. Vision, not good enough in this deck, I don't think. We're going to have, I guess we're going to have Reclaims. Maybe a Grasp. I'll keep this in mind. I'll keep this in for now, and we'll think about it. But it belongs over here in the lands anyway. And 14, 15, 17, 8. Yeah, so this could be a mana base here, of course. I don't think... We're not playing 2 planes, but don't worry about that. Or 3 planes, but don't worry about that yet. You want to cut the Taunter? No, we like the Taunter. It's a game winner, especially if we're trying to be aggro. Kick Taunter, trigger the Riptide, swing for 1 million. What's our wizard count here? 6 wizards, okay. I think we can maybe even cut the Ascetic. It's our only natural cleric, probably. But we get adventurer clerics. We don't need full party. We're just looking to reduce the cost here. Again, yes, 1 planes is correct, but I don't I don't mess with basics till we're done building. We finalize our basics as the last thing. Although if I have a ton of these, sometimes I'll do it first because it's better to figure that out. But in this case, we don't need to worry about this yet. This is more of a big drop. We hope this is more of here, and this is more here. Maybe we cut sentinels. I don't know if we're ramping enough. Like, I think we cut one. I know that can you cut? Does it have to be kick? Yeah, it has to be kicked. You can't cast a spell with kicker. It has to actually have been kicked. So I think running one of these is fine, but I don't think I like two. That's where our overall creature count 27. So we can cut creatures. I think, again, we're not really trying. We don't really care about full party. We're just trying to play spoils at 5 or 4, and we'll be happy there. So I think we can cut turn timber. And brute being called to be cut, I suppose. Let's see, what's our warrior count? I do want to, like, it's our only warrior 2. And if we cut the warrior, we're talking about really spoils being at best a 4 or 5, which again is maybe fine. I think this is just a good card. And this does, how many things we have that actually kick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 kicker. Okay, well, that's at least something. That's enough of a density that Verazal has a chance. But maybe I'm supposed to cut Glacial Grasp here. Doesn't do all that much. We're not triggering instant and sorcery rewards. We can also... let me check instants and sorceries. We have 6 total. So Vision has 5 targets to find. Yes, Veteran Adventure does the trick, right? It can be a missing piece. But in terms of natural... Well, let's be clear. We talk about party cards. Both Veteran Adventure and Spoils only need a 1 mana shave off before they're fine. I'm fine to cast this for 5. I'm fine to cast this for 5. If we cast either for 4, we're happy. That makes me want to run both and not. And I don't. What I'm saying is I don't feel like it's. I'm overloading on party stuff. I'm just noting the synergies there, and they're worth including, even if we do something like cut the brute. Chimero says we're being pulled too much. Are we aggro squid or are we long game Royal Mage kick? And honestly, though, I think you can be aggro into a long game closing situation where you're like, well, we're trying to aggro them out. We get them low. And if we can't close it out, we have a long game that can close it out. So yeah, this can be cast as a 2/2 by paying just, this can be a 2-drop if we need it to be. Yes. And then it could copy one thing even from there. I think I like cutting the Vision. Maybe it's still worth it. Just on the chance that it gets a spoils. Yeah, maybe it's still worth it. And Riptide, yeah, Riptide might be actually, if we accept that, like, basically, I think of us as we're trying to be kind of aggro, apply some pressure, and then we have some kicker and we have some party, but there's no real reward here for either one. I mean, you really know you're in the kicker deck when you're making drakes every time you kick stuff. I mean, we've got this one payoff, right? But it's not like we have a ton of kicker payoff, and it's not like we have a ton of party payoff. So I just really think of this as more of an aggro deck with a light touch of some of the other stuff. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's fair. But I'm also acknowledging that we just don't have the density to think of this as some huge. I mean, obviously we're going to play it. It's good enough to play as a 2/2 for 2, but it's not some linchpin. Or like, I guess I hear, oh, you got to. What are you doing? Are you doing kicker or party? Well, it's like, are you suggesting I should cut kicker cards to add duelists so that we're more party, or cut brute to add like what kicker card, right? To add this to find more kicker. I just don't know how it changes actually what we're doing. Let's get a couple more cuts done and move on and try it out. So we're still at 19.6. I think I want to cut creatures. What's our worst? I guess the brute should go in that case. And then vision, I still like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Maybe we don't need 18 land. This could be a 17, a quasi 16 lander with vision as 17th. I think this curve is low enough to do that with, yeah, especially with the double reclaim and the spoils to fill up when we get there. So I like trying this. With Oppo Mill, one risk we have here is that we get our planes milled. I think I'm going to risk it as a starting deck, but if we're up against Oppo Mill from our opponent, we need to consider bringing in more planes in case they get milled and we have nothing to find with reclaim. So for now, though, we're going to do this. We are spoiled. We have squid. We are royal mage. We have 3 royal mages, 3 squiddies. What are we calling this? Seafood. Spoiled seafood. Yeah. Yeah, seafood's not bad, David, because you're right. This is about a sea deck, but it could win. We have some things to do here. Surf and turf is good too. I like that. Spoiled seafood works for me though. We're going to do that, and we got ZNR full for Krauser. So we need, let's see if we can find matching. Do we have all of them yet? Adam, Anna, Sam. Here, do we have all of Adam's? Maybe we have all of Adam's. Yeah, we'll do Adam Paquette since we have all of his. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, it's a good one, huh? S:, and then you can type in a set abbreviation, and also you can click on this search box and it'll bring up the advanced search menu, so you can see the terms and stuff. So it's missing some of them. I know there's terms. There's some term that I always forget. I should make an exclamation point code for it because I always forget it. But there's a way to eliminate cards that don't appear in boosters so you can actually see how much of a set you're missing. But we're going to do this. Let's run it. And you tell me how we're going to do today. Look at me. I'm updating my record before we actually play. Whew. Well, we got to reclaim the waste, so I'm going to keep this. I'd like to find something to do besides Verazol on 2. You'll have to tell me if you think we should in that case. But yeah, the fact that we can go fetch an island makes me want to keep this. Means we're down 1 source for white. So we play this for an island, and then we're down to just having 2 ways to find a plains and 2 cards that need it. So we have like a 25% chance of drawing both spoils before we see any plains action at this point. But I'm going to play the cards in front of me, and the cards in front of me say keep and go fetch an island. Sorry, plains. Hang out there. We'll come get you. We'll find you. What are you thinking, though? Would you play this on 2 if we don't? Let's say we draw a land. We draw a forest. Are you playing this? We got Sentinel coming up. Into Diviner, into Adventurer. Feels like we should wait, right? It's too good. And us on... Hey, and we can just play a Royal Mage anyway. Great. Much better, too. I'm not going to be greedy about Royal Mages. We have 3 of them. So kind of the point of the Royal Mage is for like one of them to show up and be a 2-drop for us. And then the other ones to show up later and be 6-drops for us. That's kind of perfect. Vine Gecko, nice from Oppo. Of course, we're going to offer our Royal Mage, and of course, they're not going to take it. Then we're going to play Sentinel, into Diviner, into Adventurer, into Verizal. So land or spells, and we have a pretty good curve here, although we can't play Adventurer without 1 more land or one more party type. We'll see. No shocker there. We were never getting a block. And I'm also never not playing the Sentinel there. I think it'd be greedy to try and wait to kick that. And look, it blocked the Gecko, so that's fine. Squid is a little bit late here, not exactly what we want to see now. And I'm going to ignore it for now and just get the Diviner out. We can again offer the Royal Mage, though, before we cast anything. So, basic land off the top would be ideal so we can drop Adventurer, but at least we can play the Squid, or if we even want, make a 4/4. Like, at this point, if we don't find a land, I think I just play the 4/4. Play this as a 4/4 and be ready to copy something even. This is an offer for the Diviner. I mean, we could just take this and a card, but it could be Subtle Strike, which would, like, blow us out, and we're fine in a race here, so I'm just going to take it and make them answer our flying threat or make a block on the Royal Mage. Right now, we keep beginning to attack with the Royal Mage, and we get to attack again. They probably block with the Visionary here, potentially. But now, with the land draw, we do get to play Adventurer instead. We have a couple of Wizards, so if they block the Wizard, the Royal Mage, it doesn't matter in terms of our ability to cast this Adventurer. So I'm going to drop land, attack all, and drop Adventurer. And I'm happy they're making that trade because it means the Adventurer is going to be harder for them to block and kill. It's a trade up, although they got a card out of it and we didn't. But we're trying to apply pressure to make that matter less. Impressive kicking of the Gloomhunter there on 5 with the Gecko, which puts us in a spot where I'm going to go ahead and play this land. We're going to make this a 6/6, and then next turn we get Squid, and then the Squid starts being able to attack, and the Diviner can threaten to trade for the Gloomhunter, so we're going to leave the Diviner back now. We can send the Adventurer knowing that in order to kill it, they need to block with 2 of their things. If they block with Gecko and Gloomhunter, I'm willing to trade the Adventurer for the Gloomhunter to clear up the sky again. I'd be willing to trade Adventurer for Constrictor and either of these 2 creatures to clear the ground for Verizal. Oh, yeah, that's right. Menace means... But we can still double block. It just means they get to choose what to kill. And if they want to take the Sentinel, that's fine. The point is, we can still make the block. But my point is that I'm attacking with the Adventurer. It's got Vigilance anyway, and I would happily accept any of the blocks they can come up with here. So X is 4, but we'll still get a 6/6. Right? Just make sure I'm doing this right. Yes. I didn't want to click an X and then have it be some, like, I left 2 mana up and it wasn't a 6/6, or just paranoid playing a rare for the first time. Oh, thank you. I'll move to our battlefield scene. A meme could, let's see, we needed our first meme, and then actually I could have played it on Vine Gecko. I'll give you a meme for Vine Gecko because I think Vine Gecko is here in the in this meme.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it?
Well, maybe not.
Yes, you can. Well, I'm going.
I think I had it confused with the 3/3 green uncommon. Well, the Subtle Strike says if they go to 4/4 and we go to, you know, a double block should still get it done through a strike. Should I do it? Or do we just let him go to 11 and have a big crackback? Yeah, might would be a lot. If it's might and it's 8/8, we just lose both, but we get a might out of their hands. Yeah, I like no blocks. You can have your 3 life, or if you want to kick a might and get a big chunk, go for it. Well, we got a couple of landfall critters and no lands currently. We'll get to play both of those, and then any further land draws at least have some utility. This Skulker has no rogues, making it death touchy. If we send Verizal, what happens? They block. They have to put all 3 on it to block and kill Verizal, except for Subtle Strike. We've been kind of smelling for... yeah, Flash Rogue is also a possibility. Maybe we just offer the Adventurer and the Diviner for whatever they got. We keep Verizal away from this scary mana and cards, and then let them do what they will with these, follow up with these, and then we still have a nice chunk of stuff on the table. So that's what I'm going to do here. Attack with Adventurer and Diviner. Leave back Verizal for now. See if they want to use shenanigans to take out this Adventurer, and then drop Squid and Kitty. At least we draw. Okay, well now we'll go Kitty Kitty instead of Squid. At least the kitties can attack regardless of whether they get landfall or not. All right, they got our 6/6. Boo. So here we're going to draw a kicker spell, guaranteed. Oh, no, just land. Land not the worst here for us, though. Playing the Squid ahead doesn't matter because we can't attack with it due to summoning sickness, but we do get to drop this. Trouble is now we're behind. We're in a spot where if we send in the kitties, they are eaten by the Vine Gecko, and the Gloom Hunter is unchecked in the air right now. So we need, let's see, and again, we called out, like, one of the reasons we feel this deck is ultimately medium is that we didn't get the interaction we wanted out of this color pair. We did not get Into the Royals or Bubbles or Rabid Bites. Like, so we're trying to make our way with a green-blue deck that basically has none of the key interaction that the color pair offers, and that's going to make this tough for us with the Gloom Hunter. That being said, we'll do what we can. Stay back this time, drop the Squid, and maybe we get the landfall and just somehow pressure it. It's just going to be super tough to race the lifelink now. vanquishing a kitty before it gets out of hand. Understandable. What is our path to victory, even? I just don't even know what we do to win now, so I better figure it out. It's real bad news, gang. I mean, there's nothing here. I look at what's left. We've got 2 spoils of adventure, a taunting arbor mage, Sulundi Vision, Vine Gecko, Might of Marasa, Gnarlid Colony, a couple of royal mages, a couple of squids, a Blight Blade, and a Reclaim. So there's literally nothing to deal with the Gloom Hunter. So almost our only chance to win is to find basically the taunting arbor mage in time to somehow. I just don't think we can win. I think not only are we not going to win this game, it's going to be a very tough match to win given our lack of interaction. and actually, now as I'm playing this out, like, is it going to be tough for us to win? It's going to be tough for us to get gems back. I think I would call this a 1-2 style deck due to the lack of interaction. We don't have anything to do here, though. We got to say no attack. Hope that we end up growing the kitty and kicking the Riptide enough. This could do it. This could help. What does this give us? It gives us a reclaim. But see, again, it's like, we're just not doing anything impactful relative to the Gloom Hunter, and there's nothing in our deck that is. At least the Riptide can attack here, and reclaim is another kick option. So maybe just actually having the Riptide attack is our best bet for anything here. But this gives us fuel for landfall for the next couple turns at least. Bigger kitty attacking squid if we need to, although this Vine Gecko, again, no interaction. I guess we could draw our Might of Marasa. That could do something. Well, I finally get to cast Spoils of Adventure, so there's that. 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Then we kick this, and we get 2 basic lands. We play 1, and we can't even cast this, so I don't even get to do it that way. We don't get to kick. We have to, and this is all, like, maybe I should just scoop and not show them anything. Like, maybe I shouldn't show them the white splash, but again, one of the things about this type of thing is, explain to me how showing them this white splash would cause them to sideboard differently, right? I mean, I'm going to scoop and move on because we really just don't have an answer for this, and we're going to die in a couple turns. There's nothing in the deck that stops it, so I'm not going to show them. But as I don't show them, I just want to call out that it's a very narrow edge. You know, the whole don't show them your blah only matters if it will cause them to sideboard and or play differently. But I think it's even hard to come up with how they play differently, Haj. I mean, they might be better aware of what factors are going to determine the outcome. Like, they can say to themselves, well, I know he's playing Spoils of Adventure, so that's a thing that could happen that I need to keep in mind. But I still question whether that ever really leads to, and therefore, since I know my opponent is splashing Spoils of Adventure, I'm going to do A instead of B. I just don't think that happens as often, but maybe that's my brain. Maybe you're the master who switches up everything with every little bit of info, but I think it's tough. Yeah, we could have played the Reclaim to cast the spoils. I just didn't bother because we didn't have time. Maybe we need Glacial Grasp in. Maybe the learning here is that Chilling Trap and Glacial Grasp need a home simply because their interaction. I might, yeah, Broken Wings. They've got the flyer that would take care of that. I got 1 minute here, so we got to get on this. Do we want more than 1 Broken Wings? What else did we see? Sky Dancer, but no, I'm only going to bring in 1 because we saw 2 flyers, and it's black-green, which generally doesn't have a lot of that. So I'm going to bring in 1. You could argue a second on spec. Maybe I just cut the spoils plan here, and we get more interactive. I think we keep 1 reclaim for the kicker alone. But I think we have the wizard count, and we have the need for interaction that I kind of want to do this. I still want to be aggro with squid, though. We still need creatures attacking. Yeah, crab is a random win con. I'm going to do this so I don't lose the race condition, but maybe we need to go and actually just rebuild the deck. Let's consider what we've learned in terms of our need for interaction. Yeah, consider things like duelist. Maybe the deck is so weak we need to consider the crab just so we have oops, I won turn one crab sometimes, you know? So we're trying to make the best of what we're seeing as a weakening deck here. This is pretty weak also, but if I assume we're going to find a wizard and that at least kicking this for extra cards and landfall is decent, I am going to keep this. We need to draw, though. Like, when I say we need to draw, like, we need some luck on the top of the library, but you can rarely win a Magic game from your opening hand. You almost always need some help off the top of your library, and in this case, we're just asking for spells, so I'm not asking for much, just spells. Yeah, good point. Even without the draw card for wizard interaction, shrinking a potential blocker, and this is a wizard though, so we can play that on 3 and then have something to trigger trap. And rogue coming in handy here. We get a rogue into a wizard into a 4-drop adventurer. So actually coming up Millhouse here, given what it looked like to start. Not going to offer the Blightblade, though. I don't want them to take that trade. I don't think necessarily they would, but I really want to ensure adventurer if they don't remove one of our creatures. Here's a spot where I do like sending in... They're not going to block the Arbor Mage. They're just not. They might block the Blightblade. And if they do, I'm willing to take the trap turn and go trap Squid instead. So I'm going to attack and see if they want to block. And then fall back on the Squid plan if they do. And if they don't block, great, we drop Adventurer. You like Adventurer first? I wanted to threaten Trap. And this is kind of what I expected. They just wouldn't block anyway. What I expect now is that they come up with a rogue. Oh, maybe they're just going to race. If they want to race, I think we're in a great spot. Like, this is where... You know, some people are liking the kite sail, but this is the problem with a lot of aggro cards, is if you are losing the race, they are actively bad. And I think Oppo is losing this race right now. Here, I like intending to eventually cast the Squid, but we get to attack in with Might and Chilling Trap up first. Yeah, if it's a flash rogue, great. Let them think they're going to get us. Let them think they're going to get us, by all means. The getter is getting got here. I gotta find it. All right, where is it? There it is.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
Yeah, we have an island in hand, but a Squid looking to be attacking. Although with the Reclaim, we get a guaranteed landfall, even if we play this island. And playing the island gives us Might. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Squid and play the island to have Might available. See if they keep attacking or whether they're back on D now. All right, they're still racing. Again, I think that's good for us. We might... let's see. Well, let's see what we draw. Broken Wings. We could just kill the kitty and have Might up. But if we reclaim... I like having Broken Wings for the kitty or the kite sail. We can also... A thing we could do is Broken Wings the kite sail and drop the kitty down into the arms of the adventurer. Maybe we could do all of the above if I just reclaim for a single card. It's a little bit telling if we only go for one, but it does set us up to do kind of everything here. So, in fact, we could do Broken Wings, the Sky Dancer, and really come close to threatening lethal-ish here. So I'm going to do that. Lethal-ish seems good. And yeah, go away, Dancer. We're just going to crack in and have Might up. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If they block like the squid for a trade, we can kick to get them to 2. But at that point, I would prefer, I think, just saving the squid, although we don't have a land draw now. So actually, I'm just going to accept this trade and accept the damage, and then have Kicked Might available next turn. Kicked Might is 5 damage in and of itself, so if any of these get through without worry of nonsense, we have the win. We just have to potentially play around nonsense. All right, that should do it. That puts him at a virtual 8, but I don't know. Let's see. Well, let's see what we draw again, because this is reasonable, a reasonable set of blocks for him, really, but depends on how they do it. Diviner, interesting. So we have +5/+5. If we swing in, they're going to put Gloom Hunter on Arbor Mage and Kitty on Adventurer. We then would have to play Might on Arbor Mage to eat Gloom Hunter, accept the Adventurer Kitty trade. Then we can drop Diviner, and we have a 2/3. They're at 4, 5, 6, 7. They're down to 7, and we have a Blight Blade, an Arbor Mage, and a Diviner out, and their board is empty with 2 cards in hand. No life gain when creatures smash in combat. He'll get hit with lethal first. How? I don't think that's how lifelink works, gang. If we kick on the Blight Blade, we still just get him to 2. Anyway, I'm going to send in, and because I think our worst case is that we just have a Diviner, an Arbor Mage, and a Blight Blade on the empty board, which seems fine. It used to go on the stack. Life gain from combat used to go on the stack, but it's very counterintuitive, and Wizards changed it for exactly this. Yeah, maybe we could have swung with the Blight Blade, and they might have taken 1, and we could have gone for it. That's an interesting line, but I think this one is very good. They have a sail to block a Diviner, but... All right, there we go. We saw another Gloom Hunter. It might have been the same one, but maybe with having seen 2 flyers again, we could justify bringing in the second Broken Wings. It really is a very tough thing for us to beat, and we saw an artifact, so there's enough targets now. I think we can bring in the other Broken Wings. If I had attacked with Blight Blade and Adventurer, I might have to go back and look at that to understand the alternate line and its value. But I processed the line I had and really thought it put us in a great spot on that board and went with it. Oppo agreed at least, but I hear you. Maybe there was something else to do. How's Vision? Yeah, Vision we still want doing its thing. Maybe we just reclaim the wastes. It did help us get landfall, but that doesn't seem worth it exactly. Maybe 15, maybe 16 land isn't enough though. Wait, did I lose? Oh, because we took out the plains. Yeah, suddenly our land is low. We have 15 plus the vision, so I think I need to... Yeah, reclaim is another kick, but again, I'm not like, okay, so we kick and the Vine Gecko gets a counter. It's not really what I'm worried about. I'm worried about my land not being right, first of all. We could cut a squid and still be as aggro as I want to be. There was a call for what? The crab? Still don't like it. I don't like a one-off crab. I'd rather play a duelist and try to have more interaction in. Like maybe even duelist this rogue over this rogue. We don't have the fight cards that make me really like having a Death Toucher. So let's try the Trixie rogue instead of the open-face Death Touchy rogue. Because Oppo's using Death Touch too, so -2 to power on Death Touchers is a nice little trick. We're going to keep this despite looking mono, because we have a Sentinel on 3, a Diviner on 4 with Chilling Trap ready as our worst case, and I think we can keep that, even though this 4 islands is pretty unhappy. I think mulliganing is even unhappier, and Chilling Trap plus a Wizard is enough for me to want to keep this. David's happy because he's expecting a meme, so as long as David gets a meme. Oppo has mulled. Vision. This is where this comes in handy. I'm glad that we get to look for something, take a shot at something, as opposed to a 5th island. Hey, duelist, maybe we get our tricksy behavior here. Right now, we've got a clean block on Pack Beast if they send it in. They do. We're going to try it. Let's see if they've got something to kill the duelist. Nice. Well, we'll get to you when we find some green, but for now, Sentinel into Diviner. I would block with the Sentinel. I'm assuming landfall so that this is not a relevant blocker next turn. So let's send in the duelist first with mana up. Always more threatening to do with mana up, even though there's not a realistic scenario in which a solid player makes a block there. Oh, I know, it's the inverse of something I've experienced a lot, which is getting got with a duelist feels bad. Royal Mage. Still gonna hold on, hope that we get to kick that in a little bit. Gosh, if we get Verizal out and kick the Royal Mage and copy the kicked Royal Mage with 2 spells in the yard, like with Vision and Trap, oh, please, Magic Gods. Please let that happen. Like, our best draw right now is just a straight up forest. Thanks, D. We are... Oh, no, this is right. We are best of 3, and we're in game 3 of the first match, so we do not have a resolution on that yet. Boy, I could play the Isle to ensure 6 mana for the Royal Mage, but then we're doing what, for a trap? Nah. So I'm just going to play this this island, and let's see. Can we? Yeah, we can attack with the Diviner. We can double block a Mammoth and shrink it so that it can't kill the Sentinel. And then we can vision, so we get to vision and trap here. Oh, Mammoth grows, sure. So maybe we don't kill it, but we kill something else. Let's see how they attack anyway. Just those. Okay, we'll take the Visionary, or try to. I'm going to start with actually casting Selendi Vision here and see if there's a, look for a pause. Actually, is there anything? They don't have anything on their cards that creates a pause. So this is somewhat of a test to see if how our Chilling Trap is going to play out. Okay, no pause whatsoever. Oh, and look, we found a Might. So we could just take, well, we don't have green yet, but we could take the Might and it would help us in the future. But Grasp is good and it helps us right away. I'm going to take Grasp. I mean, it doesn't help us right away, like this turn right away. But that was really useful to see that they don't have a trick, which was also represented by the fact that they didn't attack with a kitty. They didn't want to put that at risk yet. But with no tricks threatened, we're going to throw a block here. Trap the Visionary. Draw a card. Make David happy.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
Okay, now we get to find out if they got hard removal for a Verazol, because if we resolve this Verazol and then kick a Royal Mage next turn, I think we win target game. Now let's see what they want to do. All right. They did indeed have removal, but that was costly removal for them. At this point, I like throwing the Duelist under the bus of the Mammoth here and working on the race. We got Glacial Grasp plus Royal Mage kicked, still being fine. Obviously, if we get to keep this rare, I don't think we can lose, but I still think we're in a good spot here. But do we want to kick a Royal Mage now or fire off a Grasp now? We can even play it. We could play an unkicked Royal Mage and Grasp, and then have potentially, but like we want, we could get the Chilling Trap back and have it to cast. Maybe that's fine. Actually, yeah, I like that. It's telegraphed, but we have it. We can throw the Sentinel in front of a Mammoth and trap the Scythe Cat and basically take no damage next turn while still getting in for hour 3, while still setting up for Glacial Grasp after that, being quite reasonable. So Game 1 was kind of a disaster with no interaction. Game 2, we've scrapped a bit because we've had interaction. So I think we need to really go revisit this build after this match here. Yeah, this is game 3. I meant game 1 didn't go well. Game 2 went really well, and game 3 is going well with interaction. I know not exactly how I phrased it, but that's kind of what I mean here. Is that the we've learned from game 1 that this deck needs a little of this interaction to have a good shot in a typical limited fight. Here, I'm going to block with a Sentinel. We don't really have the ability to get counters on it. So at this point, it's just saving us another 5 points of life. You think we chump with the Mage? But the Mage can attack. This can't attack. And why do you want it the other way? This has trample. I guess this deals 2. Yeah, you want it the other way because shrinking this. Well, no, it is one. We do want it this way, right? We do this and shrink that. Shrink and live. I'm just willing to chump here. I don't care about this thing living. I'm going to go with my line.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
And send both grasp. We can even, let's see. Squid, grasp. We could do it again. I mean, we're definitely going to attack. Yeah, I do gotta watch the clock. This is game 3, though. It's not. I don't need 5 minutes plus to resolve how this game is going to resolve, so I'm not worried about that. My only question is whether we're Royal Maging again for a Chilling Trap again, which looks like it could do what we need it to do, and then we still have the Grasp after that. Sure, why not? You like Squid and Grasp? Squid and Grasp is also very solid. I think both of those lines are good. Okay, fine. We'll do it. We'll do it. Chat. I think they're like it's an all roads lead to win type situation here, but we'll grasp on upkeep. That's when you want to do this kind of thing. Another Squidward.
All right, everyone, chill.
Don't want to lose to a pump spell, so of course we're chumping. Find a land. Okay. As I say, if we find a land, we get to, but maybe we still have it. Let's see. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, so we can kick and have a 2. If we get a 2, we get a grasp, which isn't quite enough. We can get the Chilling Trap back, which means we survive. Maybe just, I'm just going to Visionary attack for Flyer, though. I think we just keep, another trap for David. And another Squid for defense, and it's all looking good. Scythe Cat not untapping here is big game. Exploding Kaladath. Escape with a win. Gonna do this. Why not? Threatens the kill, and we have Chilling Trap to disrupt anything they might do. Squid might not even be attacking anyway.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
I didn't want to block with the 3/2 that could attack. I liked having a second, and this is part of the reason why here. But we should still be able to get there, thanks to Kicked Royal Mage. All right. Got there, gang. But look how much better that deck played when we had some interaction. My gosh. Interaction that we could get back with our triple Royal Mages. So obviously we're going to go make some changes. Maybe I just need to let go of the Spoils dream. I was so happy to like, Spoils is such an obviously good card, right? This is just a great spell to resolve. But I think I pulled myself away from interaction for it, and we should play away from it. I'm going to cut both reclaims as we think about how we want to consider. Because again, yes, we have a Vine Gecko and we have a Verazol, but duping a kicked reclaim, not even that amazing to begin with. I mean, yeah, it gets you some. It gets lands out of your deck, but it's not amazing, right? And then we can bring in. Yeah, I like the Duelist. I liked the Double Trap. I like the Grasp. I want all of those in, and we can leave the Blade and add Island. That would be 16 there, but we have landfall, 16 plus vision, I should say, 17 effectively. Could argue this is 18. We do have some card flow in double now. Now double Chilling Trap and Visionary gives us some card flow, so, and Royal Mage does as well. Yeah, I thought we had the place D, but it doesn't seem like it is here. I might have to change the name. Although Spoiled Seafood actually maybe is all the more appropriate now. We were spoiled. Well, what about one Reclaim the Wastes for one squid? Reduce our landfall needs a touch with one of the weaker ones, and then increase our ability to hit landfall. Can it be seafood without the crab? I mean, yeah. Although if we put in the crab, then we like what's the word for like a seafood stew? You know, there's a culinary word for a seafood stew. Then you could call it that. I don't think gumbo is what I was looking for, but yeah, maybe it's bouillabaisse. Soups. I think I was looking for bouillabaisse. Although the Italian, what's the Italian rice concoction name? You know what I mean? The Italian rice thing is not pizza. Risotto, that's what I was looking for from Panoramics. Risotto doesn't mean seafood, but seafood risotto is a common thing. Let's get off of what we eat and get on to what we're running. Is this good enough? I think this is better. I think I'm going to try this. And then we have Broken Wings to bring in as appropriate. Well, not keepable here. I mean, we do have gosh, if you showed me a forest on top, I'd probably keep this. Royal Mage into Chilling Traps. Maybe we can let the Riptide go if we've reduced the amount of kicker. Let's talk, we might need to refine this deck even further, but Riptide is a cut candidate if we decide to bring in Broken Wings, for example. Well, deck not cooperating, but with a Royal Mage and a Blight Blade and a Forest and a Scythe Cat, there's an argument for keeping and pitching the Adventurer here and giving us 2 chances to find a land. If we find an island in the first couple cards, the hand becomes tenable and maybe better than mold a 5. A random 5 is a really rough place to start. So even though this requires a lot of luck for us to be able to win from here, I think our chances of winning from here are greater than a random 5, pretty narrowly. Pretty narrowly. Razor wants to go to 5. Understand. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, we can send the Sentinel back. That's true. We might find between Rogue and Wizard, we may find the tools to cast an adventure pretty quickly. So I like that. We're gonna keep Ditch Sentinel and cross fingers, and we might lose with one land in play and seem kind of silly, but we have our reasons. We are taking a calculated risk and hoping our deck delivers us some lands, especially islands, but even a forest would be a welcome sight here. That's true. The best 5 from a random 7 is maybe I'm using old logic in my decisions on how to approach that. You can definitely craft a much better hand of 5 from 7 than a classic old school mulligan. In this case, we're going to stay back on D and threaten to block that. Thanks, D. We'll get that updated. We are 1-0. Happy to be 1-0, actually. Be thrilled if we can get a second win here. Do I make this trade? Yeah, every time I trade for Blightblade, because if they go for damage-based response or something, we potentially have the Might even if we need to. I don't want to trade Might for Bug Catcher. I'd rather just trade Blightblade straight up here. That's fine. No, Bug Catcher is a great card, and I don't. And they're showing red-black, which is the party a party color pair. So this could be attacking as a 5/2 in this opponent's deck. Mike is talking about super classic mulliganing. Let's see. If we let this happen, I mean, we just let it happen. There's nothing to do about it. I mean, we could cast the Might, but it doesn't. They can't get the Might anyway, so it doesn't matter. I had tracked my wins in the spreadsheet. I haven't done the I haven't done the math on my current record for this format, but I'm intending to get to a spreadsheet update this weekend. My Zendikar data is actually pretty good. I got really lax during like Ikoria and M21 though, so I actually have a lot of missing information for those sets. All right, here we go. Hit us with an island, please. Hey, thank you, deck. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We could play Royal Mage unkicked, which I think we should. They know about the trap anyway, and Royal Mage here means adventure with a basic land could be cast next turn. Can't cast anything else here, but we'll do this. And now I won't trade. You know, Hat was asking me if I would trade Blightblade for Bugcatcher, and I would have before, but now that we have the island and we are one basic away from an adventurer on 4, I think we need to just take whatever here and try and get an adventurer out next turn. But that's the thing, D. It doesn't work that way for like if you're telling somebody else to check their untapped GG, fine. But with my untapped GG, I play across 3 accounts. So if I go to untapped GG, I have to pick which account, and then no, there again, untapped GG doesn't actually help me the way I want to be helped. I mean, the spreadsheet itself is a template, Dave. So just make a copy of it and look at it. Delete my data and put in yours. But yeah, I could make a template page. That might help people. Like make a pre-cleared page. Yeah, sorry, passing here, obviously I was talking about that. Although the reason to not pass here would be to draw a card off Glacial Grasp and look for a land to play. But I think we could even then attack with the Royal Mage in that spot. But Surion thinks we should pass. I'm thinking we should, and the reason why is because even if there's a land on top that we would draw with Glacial Grasp, it's still going to be fine to get it next turn and drop the Adventure and play Grasp on their upkeep. It keeps this thing tapped for a couple turns, uses a bunch of our mana. Like, I wanted to use 3 instead of 1. We get a draw either way. Hard to say we could have trapped and killed as a plan when they know about the trap. That's the thing. It's not really that much of a trap anymore. That's a problem. As you know, we don't have much to deal with flyers, but we're going to offer, and yeah, so they're offering here. They're offering this trade because of our whole, adventure can't come down. I got to just take this and try to get the adventure down next turn. Yeah, I'm just saying they know about all these cards. So, like, setting up some big combat where we're going to, quote, get them with Might of Marasa and Chilling Trap doesn't seem realistic when they know about both. We could affect how they attack, knowing that we had these, but tough to get them, fully get them when it's face up. Okay, they went with a play to keep us off the Adventurer, but we do have Squid, and we do have a Chilling Trap with a Wizard out, so all is not complete gloom and doom here. And we actually have, even though they know about it, we have good blocks. So this is where you're talking about, like, we can't get them, but the knowledge of our Chilling Trap and Marasa do affect what they can do and how they're going to do it. They're going for it. That's fine. So I don't know what this card is, but we start with a Chilling Trap and draw and shrink here. Okay, so we just lose a card, but we get a free bug catcher, so this is still good for us. This is a problem though, not gonna lie. Duelist, interesting. Still can't cast it, but still should be interesting next turn. The lack of a Squid attack just shows that we, maybe they think we drew something that we can't cast here. So Duelist is a reasonable draw since it offers up some unknown tricks on our side. And if they don't attack in, they're just saying, all right, we can't beat the Might. So this is good. They have a flash rogue, I would think, is what's going on here. So we're gonna call the bluff. They might be trying to get us to cast the Might, but I don't think we cast the Might. We just do the Duelist here and see, and then whatever flash rogue plans they had are dashed from that. They also really might just be fine trading their rogue for a counter on Taborax. Short clock. All right, well, we do get our Adventurer, and that's going to be big game against the two fat warriors we see across the way. But we don't have attacks, so Looks like we're probably going to fall in game 1 and got to find some tools for 2. We'll bring in at least one of the flyer hate because there is an artifact to get as well. So we see at least 2 targets for broken wings. Mike, is that what you have for my current Zendikar? That sounds about right, which is to say that I'm disappointed with where I'm at right now in this format. Feel like I've been pretty darn unlucky, but I also have some stuff to figure out, clearly. What are we even doing? Besides losing? I'm sending both. We have Might. They know about the Might, but if they want to trade Might for Scorch Rider, I'll do that. And then we have, instead, on defense, a 5/5 and a potential 6/6 that they know about, but so goes. Yes. I mean, it's a Google-based doc, but you can also... I mean, if you have a different spreadsheet manipulator that you like, you can export my spreadsheet in whatever form you like and manipulate it with anything you want. Hey, well, that's what we needed to survive. I was trying to think of what our outs were and didn't come up with any, but there you go, a flyer with Might. Could keep us alive. And if we send the adventurer, what's the point of that? The point is that we're happy to trade this for the rider, and they can't trade it for the champ. So yeah, sure. Got to keep trying to win. Does take a wizard off the table so the diviner doesn't draw, but we're trying to actually win combat with a diviner anyway. Or we could even win combat with the adventurer. All right, if they're going to do that, well, we could... We're going to do this for sure. And if we kick it, we get a 10-10 and win combat. So I guess we just should. Then we can chump up here. Oh, this is going to get big lifelink, though, right? If it gets... no, wait. 5 or more counters. Okay, so I like it. Oh, never mind. I'm not kicking it. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was acting like I could kick it. Sorry, gang. I was just so surprised they blocked this way. But given that they know that... So we're just going to accept the rider trade, then. Never mind. And we'll try to win combat in the air. Yeah, we still get the trade. Little wasted effort thinking that through when I wasn't cognizant of how much mana I had. I was just thinking about the potentials. All right. Annoying, but we're not dead to that. And might... I guess the trouble is we trade, and then this guide answer is tough for us again. So, still tough here, but we at least have a trade. No choices. I actually haven't been on Kicker that much lately. I don't know. I know it's been something I've leaned to in general in the format, but heck, this wasn't even what I was trying to do, and then we got kind of pushed here. And that's all she wrote. Between Tabarax and the Flying Rogue and the Blade, we can bring in at least one Broken Wings. And I do like cutting the Riptide. Feels underwhelming since we reduced our Reclaim by 1 as well. Yeah, life gain could be good. Ascetic over what? Or maybe just brute again to have, like, a sentinel seems fine since they're showing us air attack. Yeah, what would we cut if we put this in is the thing. One of our ones? Cut a duelist or a blight blade, but those seem okay. Both adding to our rogue count. No, I cut it. It felt... The trouble is we could not really run interaction and spoils effectively. That's what I felt like. Now, aren't doing 41. Especially not 41 land. Yeah, I hear you, though. We know what you mean. Could just cut another squid. Still fine. Still have a lot of 2s. Some 1s. All right. I'm doing that. Okay, no 2s here, besides one we don't really want to play on 2, but we'll keep. Decide if we want to play a 2. Ideally, we draw a Royal Mage. Duelist is also not really what we want to do on 2, but I'm just going to pass. There's not really a world in which we cast this. But we'll make him have something for the kitty, or else it starts to grow, and then next turn, Duelist Broken Wings over a 4/4, or we can just make a 4/4 that copies a couple things. That might be the play. Just get big. Treat this as a 4/4 for 4 that might do something later. Offering a trade here... Can't do it when we have a duelist shenanigans upcoming. If they block, we go for the duelist play. If they don't, we decide on potentially duelist or Verizal. I think we just go Verizal, though. A 4/4 here is fine, and we treat it as such, and if we get value out of it later, excellent, but I like getting a big body down here. Oh, X is 2, though. I'm expecting it to die, but that's part of its job is to either take over right now or pull out their good removal. If we had Kicker at hand to abuse this with, I might be a little more careful with it, but part of its job here is to be that lightning rod. Lack of attack suggests they don't have burn or, because it's enough of a lightning rod that it would not surprise me to see an opponent attack in with a 3/2 with the intention of finishing it off with some removal after that. Duelist, again, keeps us in a good spot here in terms of having interaction with potential blocks. 15, 17, we do have a somewhat of a tough race, but we have the Broken Wings for the Sky Dancer now, so we're going to get one step ahead on the race that they don't know about. If they do something absurd like a double block, we just destroy them. Which they didn't do because they probably thought, they could destroy me if I double block. Correct, Topo. probably willing to play Duelist for damage reduction here. Boy, especially given that. Nice card. If I'd known that, I could have killed the... if I'd known this was coming, we would have Broken Wings, the Sky Dancer, and Upkeep. Maybe that's something we need to think about in the future, or just on my main phase. Like, I didn't really think about how leaving this... being tricksy and waiting until the last minute on Sky Dancer actually just let our opponent drop a 5/4 haste. And now I actually think Duelist's job here is to prevent a lot of damage. Interesting. 5/4 haste they're not going to attack with because they want to try and trade off for one of these. That's fine with us. We're going to save Duelist. We're going to Broken Wings the Sky Dancer so the Bug Catcher doesn't get as big, but we're going to take the Bug Catcher and then try and Duelist our way to a blowout on our next turn. So we can kick Royal Mage, and we can get a Reclaim or a Broken Wings. Neither of those do much here, though. We're going to go with Duelist and see if we can't... Although kicking and doubling this is interesting. We get both Broken Wings and Reclaim the Waste. But... Right, I know, but do you, like, Hat, do you even want to take 2 counters off of our 4/4? We start by swinging all, is the bottom line. Yes, Surion, I agree. They got a block here, and we're going to punish them for it. Yeah, 2 new 2/1s would be nice. I think we do want to copy it. I just don't think we want to do that here. Is there an argument for just playing this out unkicked? Can we get through for the, you know, are we threatening lethal enough? I think if Duelist plus Royal Mage were lethal, there would be an argument for it. But since we can't be lethal with getting Duelist and Royal Mage through, we should wait. Yeah, when you find your windows for the Duelist, it's quite good. We just have to remember the times where it doesn't do anything super relevant in combat, and therefore, well, there you go. Kind of wish we'd done it now, but we didn't know that was coming. Had to do what we could. That sucked, though. This does not suck. We're going to knock down their 2-power thing and slam. And then they have 2 forced blocks, and the Duelist can get through for 1. Maybe we'll find something else even off the top. But I like this. That is something else off the top. Well, they had a turn, but maybe they just felt like they had to chump, and then it was going to be inevitable. Oh, Cat tramples. Sorry, yeah. Nope. I'm the one not seeing the board. Cat tramples. Yeah, I made that tap thinking in terms of reducing the largest power blocker math, but power on blocking wasn't relevant there, so I think you're right. Tapping the rogue would have been better, because then it forces them to block chump with their highest power creature. And let's see, do we come up with anything else we've learned? 1 and 1, though. Glad we're at least playing this to Inordinate Rage. You got to remember that's in there. Hey, Swaggy. I think we're good, though. Let's just send this back. Maybe Anti-Cog could be in here, too, as some interaction. But, I'm going to run this. I don't have great reasons for additional swaps, so I'm just going to run it as we have it. All right, I can get behind this. Who knows, maybe they come up with something on 1 that we can Duelist on 2. I don't want to make a 1/1 duelist on 1 just to be attacking with a 1/1. Again, this is where, when it's working, this card does work, but it does need to find the right setup. As Marshall would say, high setup cost on making the duelist good, but it's generally doable. And I'm going to play a forest so I don't even tip that we have a possibility of duelist. This card is real tough to beat without something like a bubble snare. So that's rough to see, gotta say. Boy. Like, our goal here is to get this to a 4/4 or bigger, or this to a 4/4 or bigger, so that you can just block it for a bit. But then it comes back as a 5, so you eventually need a 6/6. Like, it's almost like we want to wait on Verazol till we can make it a 6/6 to have a chance to beat the Shade long game. But unlikely that lot lives throughout the whole thing anyway. I'm gonna, yeah, we could shrink it. It's probably enough to shrink here. Well, that's not a bad mill there, at least. Yeah, we could block, but it doesn't make sense to me. They haven't played their land yet. They could drop a land and replay it. It would just... Really? You'd block and then they just replay it? I mean, they could literally replay it this turn. No. And yeah, next turn we might be able to block with Chilling Trap, although we don't really have the time. I'm going to get the kitty going. Yeah, kitty pass. Yeah, if we're going to chump it, if we're going to, like... And effectively blocking the Shade is chumping it, since it can come back and your thing can't. If we're going to chump it, might as well wait till we're saving 3. But and the reason for saving it is getting the Adventurer down sooner. So there is that, but we can't really do it next turn. So I like... Boy, you could even make an argument for attempting to get the catcher with the kitty, just like taking him off this aggro and hoping that our bigger stuff comes down and starts clogging the board successfully. But you act like that's a bad thing, Jinx. I mean, they, quote, spend their turn recasting it, as opposed to what? Casting something for hand? All your line does is give them something to play from the yard that doesn't even cost them cards. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into the double trade. Syrian likes it. We are up against heavy aggro here, and we have some tools. I'm gonna block. That's the rough part. Oh, and now we have 5 mana towards the 6/6 that I was talking about, long game affecting the Shade. So we could also go Sentinel unkicked to threaten a block, potentially even Chilling Trap for no value to make him recast. Interesting. Interesting. We don't have anything to kick to make this good that way, but we will eventually here, and then this will be amazing. You like Sentinel hold trap? I think we have to take it if we do that, though. Okay. Those were our options. I don't know if we fire off the trap here. I think we probably just take 3 from the Shade this turn. I would like to get a card out of the Chilling Trap. This is not a wizard or anything, but this is. So I'm going to take this. telegraphing the trap a little bit, or telegraphing another rogue, that kind of thing. Well, that's not a warrior, but I expect one back in hand, so this is effectively a 4-3. Yeah, you think just don't play the Sentinel at all and try and make a double Sentinel off Verazol or whatever. That's fair, but I do think we need to develop our board somewhat. Well, this qualifies. I like this. We brought this in against this opponent, and it does give us the 4 toughness to block a Shade without having to commit Verazol to the board. Be interesting to see how Crowbar Matt handles this combat here, because on the surface we win combat and they shouldn't attack. So if they do, what does that say about what Matt is suggesting? Here's that Electromancer sneakiness I was talking about. It just slides in these free 3/2s. It kind of feels like the 3/2 green elf, except you get the card. The card you draw goes to the table. Yeah, I think we do take this, given the Chilling Trap available. And if we draw a land, we get Veteran Adventurer with Chilling Trap up, which is great. I shouldn't say land. If we draw a basic land. Instead, we get Royal Mage, which is a wizard, so I'm going to play it just for the fact that it sets up trap. We could also just play, we could play the Veteran Adventurer, but then we have no tricks, and I want to have the tricksy tricks. Although, gosh, Royal Mage with Verazol, obviously excellent, but we have multiple Royal Mages and can get back to them. So I guess the question is, do we have time? If we play the Adventurer, what happens? They haven't shown the ability to attack in, so they have a 5/5, and I guess if they don't have anything, we technically have blocks on everything. There's a call for Trap plus Verazol, but my problem there is we don't have a wizard yet. I'm going to go on the Adventurer plan. I think we have the time. Yeah, Bugcatcher is pretty big, but our worst case is that Bugcatcher attacks for 5, and we decide to trade it off for the Ascetic or not. 5 toughness matters here, though, is exactly the right comment, Gadandmore. Because they didn't show the ability to attack into our 5/4 with, say, a 3/3. So we can figure, okay, so yeah, so this is a place where we can, I think we trade off the Ascetic here and are pretty happy with that. And then we have the Chilling Trap for Adventurer stuff. Because the Veteran Adventurer is a wizard, so that's why we're going to make this trade here. Hey, I like it. This plus Chilling Trap up plus a card is good game, is big game for us. Hopefully we find a basic land to set up Verazol next turn, and we do. It also threatens more potential stuff that Oppo has to think about. I don't want to attack into this board because I guess this doesn't block. And if they double blocked, we would be okay with that. I guess they can only kill this if they double block involving the card we want to kill anyway. So yeah, we'll still attack with Adventure. Acquisitions Expert with Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard is going to get our Verazol, and they're going to know about our trap. I'm going to just, yeah, here you go.
Come say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
But anyway, there's this moment where we could play the trap now, but I don't think they're not going to take it. They're going to take Verazol. So we can let them land the expert and keep the trap, and then at least whatever's on top that we are going to draw is our secret. This is not the worst. I mean, I'd love to have Verazol, but look at our hand. It's still very good. You can thank Hat for the updated rat burglar, the acquisition burglar. D is pleased. Nothing to get back yet, but we will eventually have this chilling trap to get back. Diviner, right on. Visionary trades with everything they have out, so we can send all. Thank you, Suryan. So they're going for it. They know that we can trap here, and maybe we can even consider saving the trap if we get a trade we're happy with, because we can reduce this to 0, right? But then they still get 3, 4, 5, which is why they're making the block. So trap draws us a card, but isn't what we want to do here. So what we want to do is just take the creatures we want most, which are the champ and really the bug catcher. Nah, maybe the electromancer is fine. We can get both warriors, or we can, but the thing is, this warrior gets worse if we eliminate extra types, right? Catcher is currently a 3/2 attacker. This is just a 3/2 already. So there is more potential here, but I think we should take out the electromancer. Electromancer blocks better, and if we're going to win, that matters. So are you all who want the catcher, are you worried that the trample is going to come back to haunt us? I'm surprised that I'm not getting any support for taking out the or more support for taking out the electromancer. I don't know why bug catcher is better unless we really think this is going to be attacking as a 4 or 5, you know? I'm going to do it my way. Maybe I'm wrong. Trap doesn't do what we want it to do. And what we can do is play Diviner and still have Chilling Trap up. One, two, three, four, 5, 6 means I am going to fire off this trap before we untap, almost no matter what, so that we can at least kick Royal Mage and get it back next turn. So they know about the trap. I'm going to fire it off before blocks, since I don't know exactly what's up here. And we're going to fire it off on the catcher. And I guess I should just risk my defender, not my attacker. Maybe that's why they did it, because they felt they could Molten Blast our attempt to eat. So maybe, that's funny. That was a reason to consider the Diviner. I still like the play, but that was interesting.
You've activated
Thank you for the sub, Robert. 14 months. I tap all the green out because we have blue to spend on the Chilling Trap. I want to make sure it leaves me blue. Yeah, they could have done the Divine. I don't know. They had a lot of choices there. Who knows what they were thinking. It's another trap! Yeah, with a trap, I like racing here. Right on, Robert. Profit meme redeemed to celebrate Robert's success. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're having a good week. Can't believe it's Thursday. What did y'all do with my week? So doing this again, and we're going to try it again, and do it the same way. Pre-blocks again. +3 plus whatever would do it. That's fine. We'll trade for that instead if you want. Subtle strike, sure. Still like where we're at, although now we're trading visionary for expert on the ground, but Squid puts a block down and says they have to have removal for the flyer or we get there. Could just leave the visionary as well. I suppose if our plan to win is just diviner through the air, we probably want extra defense so we don't lose from 8 somehow. So I'm going to actually keep back on D there. Save both lands in case of potential landfall needs. They do lose a rogue and it does shrink the catcher. And it would be a forced block. So that's interesting. Maybe I could have done that. But I do like having the extra blocks here. Hopefully exploding crowbar Matt now. And we actually, can we possibly somehow, some way start 2-0. I'm gonna go block. We can't. This thing can't block anyway, and keeps coming back. So might as well block the stuff that can block us back. Yeah, we can't worry about that, Herschel. I'm not gonna not make blocks because I want to draw a card off of Diviner. I'm gonna make him beat this flyer. Trample. Yeah, but that's the trample. Are we at risk of death if we do this? So 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. The +3/+2 we saw still isn't enough. And if we do think this is the last turn of the race, we should just optimize for that, I suppose. So this would be the play there in that. Yeah, we got to block, but do you block the trampler or the thing that can come back, right? And I think if we think this game is about to end, we should do it this way. It's the difference between 5 life and 4 life versus a dead thing they can cast again and versus not. But the dead thing they can cast again can't block, so that part didn't really matter. That doesn't matter. I think we have this. I think they're just fiddling around trying to figure out how to stop this, but they can't. I'm going to grasp. I guess I can grasp in response if they do something and we're looking for like a counter or something. And we don't have a counter, but like that's what I mean. So we can go, oh, this is perfect. So we hold. I'm glad I didn't do this looking for a card. It's like there's no need to do it now. Wow, they think they got us and it was very close. Whew. Whew. Very nice, Oppo. I'm sorry to break your heart here, but we had the perfect card for you. Whew! I almost did too. It's like, well, might as well look for another card. Might as well take another card, right? I almost did that, but barely managed to find the right line. Whew! Yeah, that's fair, Gadanmore. And I should have seen that, right? Gadanmore calls out that they didn't replay the Shade, although since it couldn't block, you could also make the argument that their only hope was to threaten something. And if they play the Shade and run out of mana, then we just know we have the win, right? All right, well, I am super thrilled to start out 2-0 there. I was not happy with how the deck ended up. I've abandoned the white splash in favor of more early interaction, and that has made all the difference. We lost the first game trying the white splash, and we've had some success since. Wow, if we can somehow crawl away from this with a 3-0, I will take a victory lap around the block with my dog. which is to say, I'll take a walk. I really like being loose at the ND. That's when I say to myself, this is when I want to play worse. I'm going to start playing worse now. So I made that call, and that's what I did. Three lands, obvious keep here. Do we want... The Riptide isn't really doing anything except defending. We already have this defender. I'm going to send the Tide back here. Well, I guess Sentinel maybe has more potential than... Well, I mean, what do you think is, like... I think we need to keep the Grasp and the Diviner and the lands. So it's really just one of these two. And... we don't have that much kicker, so that this is really a defender anyway. And this defends the sky. So I'm going to keep the thing that defends the sky. And it's possible also that we end up with a bunch of... that somehow we sequence from here where we find a different 3-drop and actually end up kicking the Sentinel much later. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but it's also possible. Yeah, but we want to attack with this. So, I still like that line. I just think this is a better 3-mana defender for us than the Wave is. If we're going to do that. With double Royal Mage, let's go ahead and get on board with the Wizard. I would happily trade for the Vanguard, and I also like having a Wizard that says Diviner dies into a card. All right, unfortunately they found another warrior, so we couldn't make the block. We got all of our Royal Mages. We're going to put a stop on upkeep, though, and actually hold off on Sentinel, especially since we don't have the land, and then look to grasp this Champ. I wonder, this would be an interesting bluff spot, although I guess they get 3 toughness. Like, they probably would just take it if we attack with the Royal Mage. Hey, it is Math Core J. Hi, Math. Didn't notice till just now, but Sentinel allows us to block Vanguard. Yes, because they could only take one of the 2, but we didn't find a 4th land, so I want to draw a card finding a 4th land for the Diviner. But I'm not gonna... I bet we could get through here, like, especially because Math knows our deck. Math knows we do have +3/+3, and probably would just take the Royal Mage, and we're not blocking with it. So maybe I just missed out on 2 free damage there because I'm a chicken. Yeah, Math has managed to match up against me a couple times now. Didn't find a land, but we've got ourselves one closer to wherever our next land is. +3/+3 will be 2 for 1-ing myself. Yeah, that's true. Good reason not to bluff it. But they would also might fear +3/+3 in Duelist. Like, we just have a lot of tricksy stuff that they've seen. Well now, guess what we're bringing in? 2 copies of Broken Wings. I guess we play this. Maybe I have to trap for land. But if I trap for land, I still can't play the Diviner anyway. So I'm going to go... why do you want the Flyer, though? We need to dig. I like chilling this for life gain, or effective life gain, a card, and trying to find something that can actually solve the problem long term. Eventually, we do need like Sentinel plus. I guess Sentinel plus Diviner does threaten to block it, but it's the first strike. Ugh. Yeah, we could just drop a Royal Mage, but now I'm also thinking maybe we win off a Royal Mage eventually. Also, we only have the 1 blue, so we can't do Royal Mage plus. I'm going to send in this one, though. And Blightblade threatens the Champ. I think this is correct. the champ doesn't untap though, so it didn't really matter. But obviously we couldn't play Royal Mage and trap, so. But we're gonna trap here just to save damage and look for a land. There it is. Now we can go land Diviner, get a couple more lands, kick Royal Mage, find the Chilling Trap, and have no Oh, hello. Yeah, so there we go. Now we can go Diviner, take another 4, but have Might, potentially kicked Might next turn. And the Blight Blade is now pretty good on the ground, and the Royal Mage threatens the Bug Catcher as well. Yeah, just 3/2 plus 3/3 is 6/5, which blocks 4/4. Good point. Well, if they go, let's see, is it CMC or power? Okay, well that's fine. They think they're gonna get that. Can we take this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boy, this is a rough time to go to 4. But we can't win if we don't have Diviner around next turn. So we have to say no blocks. We're slim to none here, but we're not none yet.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Why not both, Hat? In Boros, stumbling on mana is drawing like a god. Well, that was a little rough, but we do get another blocker on the ground. So we get a blocker on the ground plus pump. Watch, we're going to win this. We're going to totally win. We're going to find a way to win this, and no, we're not. But, you know, we're going to try. How do we not die even here? We put Blight Blade. First, they have to go for trying to make our Diviner not be able to block. We almost have to Marasa anything they target. Wait, we still have plays here, depending on whether they... Yeah, all right, look. This is sneaky. We have plays, gang. We have plays. Plays, I tell you, plays. So now they're going to throw the Maul on something, and we chump. Does it give trample? Flying first strike. None have natural trample, so we do have a chump. And we can maybe chump. We play the Sentinel and we can trade. So I'm going to do that. Right? Oh, but then we lose to the... No, we're in forced block territory. So we need to chump one and win combat on the other, at least. We might just be playing towards an absolute obvious death. Yeah, this is just going to be... The first strike makes us chump, chump, chump forever here. So we're probably still just dead. Let's play an air chump. I don't know if we're drawing dead. Are we really drawing dead? I think we can set it up so we're not drawing dead in games 2 and 3. I made... Oh, and let's see. Yeah, it still doesn't help to double block because the first strike takes out one and then the other one lives, but it hasn't accomplished anything. So we just choose which one we want to let go of, and that's the Sentinel. The Goma Fata ability looks at the power, and they targeted my 3/2 flyer with some number of warriors, and I pumped it so that it was no longer small enough to be affected by that ability. Unfortunately, we're looking at another chump in the air, but we can go Gecko and Squid, but now it's looking real grim because I don't know what else we have in the air. We can find a Chilling Trap to not lose to it. But we're pretty up against it. With how slow I play, I should probably scoot just to have time. We can beat this card. It's not that good. All right, personal goals. Knock this Maul into the graveyard mid-combat and send whatever it is on into the waiting arms of an eating defender. That's my new life goal, but it'll have to be in game 2 or 3. What else we got going on? Probably some natural flyers in Boros with the white. But we're definitely bringing in double broken wings. And had historically cut like a squid for one of those. That seems okay as a cut. You know, drop the grasp. Yeah, that's fair. Although it does add to Vision's ability to find stuff. Grasp is pretty good. It's been rising for me, but I don't know what else I would cut. I think it is maybe our weakest spell here. At 17 creatures, we could cut our weakest creature. We could cut cut one of the 1-drops. How are we doing? What are the 1-drops doing here? I guess with Boros, we like our 1-drops. No, I'm just saying, right, but it reduced, like, if we play both Grasp and Double Wings, that's 3 targets. We cut one of them, we're lowering our targets by 1, that's all. But I mean, we're adding 2, I get it. I'm just saying, I'm just considering the ramifications of our decisions. Yeah, another Death Touch guy might even be reasonable here. So let's go ahead and cut the Grasp. We can think about bringing in the cheap Death Touch for maybe one of the more expensive, like even a Scythe Cat. Maybe we cut a Kitty. Oh yeah, Riptide is a good call. Yeah, let's cut Riptide. I keep being on the verge of that anyway. I like it. Okay, this seems fine. Let's do this. Yeah, I didn't like it felt wrong to cut the Kitty. The Scythe Cat is so good if you can get it going and they don't answer it. I just kind of forgot Riptide, but that's the perfect cut for a deck that has enough creatures and that's not really doing enough for us. All right. Very keepable. And math is mold. We'll run out the Royal Mage, no problem, unless we find a better 2 on the top. I don't find a better 2, but I sure like having this, knowing that Oppo's got a mall. A mall. Let's go to the mall. If we ever get a mall, we have to do it. Yeah, we can make a shopping pun. Retail therapy. If I ever get a deck with a mall, we're going to call it retail therapy. Scythe Kitty. And we'll offer the Blight Blade for that ambusher. Sure. I mean, I suppose I could leave it back, but I hope they attack and pump. Wish we'd found the Gecko for turn 2 instead of the Royal Mage. That would have been sweet, but we have a pretty good hand going here. I'm not complaining, just saying that would have been extra sweet. Pretty easy attack there for math. We could not, literally could not block that and have it make any sense. Well, Scythe Cat on 3, no land on 4. Definitely not what we want to see. But I'm glad we have a Death Toucher at least threatening some damage to those warriors, and we're going to drop Arbor Mage and move on, I guess. I guess we could play Gecko. I'm going to go Gecko. Then we could end up in a spot where in 2 lands we actually kick the Arbor Mage and grow the Gecko. That's reasonable. It also makes Royal Mage cheaper on 5. But now I kind of hope we get land, and they play something for us to Broken Wings. Sky Mall is great, Radiantware. I like that a lot, too. That kind of captures it all. Do you know I worked at the Mall of America? During my college years, I worked at Corner Shop News, a kind of convenience store inside the largest mall in America. Oh yeah, sure, we can do the Warriors meme. Do you want? Which one do you want? There's this one.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is not gonna survive somehow, but we're gonna try. We're gonna trade for Trick. I don't think we're trading for the champ, but I'm trading Blightblade for some Trick up here. Alright, we'll take that trade just fine. I was hoping for that. If everybody likes this one, if this is the... Do you all consider this to be the Warriors meme?
Warriors, come out to play.
Y'all have to vote on it. If that's what you think of as the Warrior meme, I'll put that in the... Yeah, I don't like that one as much because I shouldn't even say it. If that's number 1, great, I'll use it. Let's go ahead and vision for land here. And then maybe we come up with something to Broken Wings. And Royal Mage, I'm going to leave it all back. Math didn't show us tricks for the last block. I want to stay on blocks here. And then maybe we get to Royal Mage something. Or sorry, Broken Wing something. That would be ideal. What we really want is something to Broken Wings and a land. But I'll make this trade. I guess they get a kitty if we do this, but they're going to get it anyway, because this already has lifelink, so we might as well trade for it. Another Blightblade, not the worst, but doesn't help us towards cheap kicks. Yeah, and also with Dead Gecko, we're not going to get cheap kicks anyway, so maybe it's time to just suck it up, play Arbor Mage, play Blightblade, have a couple of blockers, and then have Royal Mage as a potential kicker later. Sometimes your cheap kicks are cheap tricks. Broken Wings gives us something. Do we care about that 3? I'm going to say no. I'd rather take 3 and Broken Wings mid-combat. Although, honestly, I guess with Tazim Royal Mage, we can go ahead and use Broken Wings pretty liberally here on that blade. If we send in with the kitty cat now, we do threaten to trade for the healer, which is not bad. I kind of want... I might be willing to just send that offer. And it also starts the attacking. If they double block, it's still a 1-for-1. But I guess the kitty gets big enough that we wait. I'm going to wait. And if they send... Scavenged Blade again, we can go for a kitty meal. I would be willing to have them spend mana and a turn on trading the Blightblade for the ambush. They wouldn't have to spend mana in that case. I guess we take the Ambusher and I'm going to Broken Wings the blade first, though. Let's see if they have a pause. There's a pause, although they have other clerics. Another target cleric. Oh, it was just the ambusher pump, of course. Never mind. So we're going to go for it, but with the Arbor Mage, not the Scythe Kitty. Adventurer is fine here. We can send in the Scythe Kitty now. I like a little more that we have an Adventurer back. So I'm going to offer the Kitty. Yeah, Channeler does some stuff. It makes you discard, though. It's not pure card advantage, and it can take a while for it to actually be a 4/4. But red being able to pitch lands and look for action is just good. Here we get Visionary drawing a card. You can offer up the Adventurer. Maybe they take Colossus for Adventurer, and that's fine, but we should look for a Chilling Trap first. Let's get a Chilling Trap. No problem. You just gotta ask. Oh, what? Well, land is good because we can Royal Mage. With Seagate being a artifact warrior and us with Royal Mage and Broken Wings, I actually think we should maybe wait. Not going to offer the Adventurer now. We will look to get... We could offer the Kitty. Like, I like offering the Scythe Kitty here. I'll take Kitty for anything you want to put in front of it. Because I basically I'd trade for Healer or Colossus. And the other two can't get it done against 4 toughness. There you go. That's the power of this card. Recycling your lands into a powerful spell like a Bug Catcher. I am, Cheese. I think this is a good format. All right. Well, with that, I don't see why we shouldn't just offer the Blight Blade here. What are we worried about? I mean, partly it's a while before Royal Mage getting back Broken Wings actually resolves and kills this thing. So we're just going to take this trade. Gnarlid kicked is fine as well. I think we send in the 5/4 here. Although, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could send in all, and if they block everything on the Adventurer to kill it, we get what? We get Dead Healer, Dead Jerboa. That seems real good. This trades with anything. Arbor Mage bounces off of these two, so they could double block Arbor Mage and kill. So there's no sense attacking with the Arbor Mage, I think, but we send everything else. Especially following with a 4/4 and then kick Royal Mage to get a spell back. We just want to attrition here. All right, math agrees that we had that one. I always feel like I need some time away from a set before I can call it an all-timer or not, but I will give you that it has potential, Jinx. Math checked out. Very good, Herschel. So many comedians on this channel. All with dad jokes. Yeah, we could put in some squids. Squid is interesting on offense and on defense, really, but I don't know if we want to go back. I think the one squid is fine here. I'm not going to give up Royal Mages. I'm not giving up the Colony. We want the Might. Not giving up Vine Gecko. Like, what are we giving up to add more squids? Like, I think the Blight Blades are doing the job that you're suggesting the squids would do, doing it better with their ground situation. Let's just run this back. I like this. All right, we can keep this 2, and I'm going to hope that we can kick the wastes and let this cat get bigger and bigger. We'll play a Royal Mage on 2, but I'm not going to reclaim on 1. We really want to kick this if possible. I'm going to play the Forest so I don't tip that duelist, that we don't have a duelist or whatever, by snap passing on the blue. That's a nice 2, if even just being a 1/3 in this situation, but we're going to play Royal Mage. Well, do we even bother with Royal Mage? It's not doing anything against... It's not attacking into Channeler. It's not blocking Channeler. What it might do for us is set up a block on a future play. That would be the reason to play it. And we have enough else going on that we could wait... that we could play it and know that we have other stuff. But also part of what we have going on is a reclaim that's going to get us to 6 mana for the kicking and potentially kicking back the reclaim. So it's a tough spot on how greedy to be. With Boros, though, I'm going to be a grown-up. I'm going to play this, and again, it's not doing anything on the Channeler. I'm playing this now because I'm expecting Math to drop additional warriors, and if any of them are 2 toughness, we'll be happy that we did this. And that's actually not even the worst with the broken wings. We may be able to set up a spot here now where we do a little bit of racing. Hey, buddy. Welcome. Never mind. With Scythe Cat being fine on 4, we go 3, play a land, and play 4. We can go ahead and play Blight Blade here. Oh, we don't even need to. We could just go... I'm going to do my original plan. I'm going to go ahead and take another 3 from the Channeler, play the Scythe Cat, get in for our own 2, and be a little bit racy here, knowing that we have a Broken Wings to interrupt the mid-combat equipment. I think I missed this last time. I probably owe you a couple of these. But we basically made Math spend their turn on that, so you could do worse there. And now we get Blight Blade. And Broken Wings on the equip. Or we could play Arbor Mage. That doesn't seem the worst, given that Blight Blade alone already says, watch out, Channeler. So, like, they're going to need to kill the Blight Blade, or this is not going to get through anyway. So we may end up not playing anything this turn if we don't do the Arbor Mage. Arbor Mage can kick for some action, but I'm playing the Arbor Mage. I think the Blight Blade is enough of a dissuasion to attack that we go ahead and build out our board more around it. Yeah, now we can use the Broken Wings on the Shepherd instead. We can kick the Colony now if we wanted to do that. But I think we need to kill the Shepherd, and then... But then we don't really have a play after that. I'm going to do it, though. I think getting the Shepherd is better than getting the Equip, for sure. kind of trying to attrition the Boros deck out here, but that Maul, if that Maul shows up, oh, yeah. Like, it's nerve-wracking to even use the wings because of that, but you also kind of have to, you have to do it. Here we can go, I'm going to kick the colony here. That's correct. So we get a 4/4 here. We can't do Scythe Kitty and Kicked Reclaim next turn, but I still like getting this 4/4 out right away. Maybe I should have held Arbor Mage. I don't know. There's the Maul that we're so frightened of, but we might be able to do... We might still be able to win here. Now we need a Royal Mage and need to kick that. Or just draw... How about we draw our other... Broken Wings. Well, that can help us find it. We kind of need to do that, I think. Nothing... You want to play Kitty and 1 Reclaim? Yeah, that's true. If we vision our way to another Broken Wings, we can set it up for next turn. We're not going to be able to do it this turn anyway, so that's a reasonable play. Herschel, I'm going to go with Herschel's line here, but we can do it after attacks. We can send the colony. Wanted to kick this, but Herschel's right. We need to try and set up to answer the Maul next turn, and this is our best chance to do it. Really rough that they're also getting this Grotag Runner through. Ugh. Just free cards. Just so. Where'd it go?
Warriors, come out to play.
Well, it is what it is. I'm doing it right now. One-time dealer. I'm still happy. We get 2 wins no matter what here, but it'd be fun to take out math. Yeah! Suck it, Maul! Now, what else do we want to do? We can send in Colony and Kitty even here, if we want to trade Kitty off. We can also wait till Kitty gets bigger, though. We have Duelist to surprise him. I guess I'm going to do Colony, and then we'll hold Duelist for the Kitty later. Yeah, I'm going to... Yeah, no, we'll definitely do the Maul now, or the Broken Wings now. I'm just... deciding whether or not we offer Kitty Cat or not, and I'm going to say no. I suppose, but I like doing it when they, you know, I've been punished with party stuff, with shelter type stuff. You can take on a lot of risk letting it go to combat before you get Trixie. And given that we need this thing to die or we lose, I was going to be super conservative and just, I'm doing it now. He didn't know we have Vision, though, so I think the suggestion was Vision at instant speed to find the Broken Wings they don't know about, and then do it all. But I am all about doing it the way that. Ooh, this looks a little bit desperation-y. I don't know what this is. This could just be game-winning-y. Either this is desperation or math is about to beat us. Because he could do kick +2/+2. So probably means we should just block everything. Or block it such that kicked +2/+2 doesn't beat us. So like we could go Arbor Mage and Royal Mage on War Leader and Scythe Cat on Runner. Although it doesn't shrink. It's not a warrior, right? This is not a warrior. +2/+2 doesn't kill us, so I say we leave the kitty but try to make this trade here. Or maybe we try this. Maybe we just do this and accept this. I think this is the best block. +3/+2. Yeah, maybe we lose to that. I've got 1 hourglass. Yeah, letting the runner in seems rough. We could go for kill runner. One of these survives, and then if the only way we can beat a trick is to block everything. So we could do that as well, and maybe we have to. I'm gonna, but I want Jerboa dead. I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry, out of hourglasses. I had to make a choice, gang. I mean, we do have the death touch here. So unfortunately, not desperation, it was just good. But we have actually plays here, so we're not, as they say, dead yet.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
They can't really play around the duelist either. It was a top deck, so... Oh my god. Still not dead, but that was brutal. All right, well now we need to... What do we want to eat? I guess we could... Eat that, shrink that. People saying, I think the rogue is the one that's really got us in trouble. I'm going to shrink the runner so that we can eat it. And then chump the war leader. Or take 4. And have this chump for next turn at similar life gaining levels. We can attack, we can block next turn for the same value, so I'm just gonna do this. It could change with the blade though, right? Alright, alright, alright. So now we're gonna go adventure is enough to trade with war leader, and we can even take 1 for the Jerboa. We can chump if we need to. So Chu says we should have blocked, but look, I mean, I don't know, I'm saving more life. What do you mean? Well, how about we drop this and pass? Or look, I mean, they need to top deck. If they top deck a land, this is a 6/4, and we still trade with it. And then we chump here to not die. And we're still attacking? do you mean I didn't save any life? What about the scavenge blade? Swing for 1 is interesting. Yeah, but we also have to get them dead or we're just dead. Well, this is summoning sick, so... I'm going to play dead... We're going to go ahead and be dead to removal to try and get some damage in. But, boy, this is a tough one. Yeah, I had to make a choice. Not sure that was correct, but out of hourglasses. Out of hourglasses. Need to do stuff. Yeah, maybe Gnarled back would have been better because then we have a Vigilant 5/5 to affect this board. I'm gonna continue to send Colony though, and continue to try and we're playing we need to fade some draws, but if we fade removal, we have a plan here. Probably a creature here. They didn't... Oh! 3-0 with this pile. I'll take it, gang. I will take it. I needed that. Sorry to be at Math's expense, but it's been a rough run, so coming up with the 3-0 on that deck feels really nice today. Maybe. If he had land, then we just won. Whew. Take it. All right. Let's claim that. Good games, Math. Another good one. Thanks for playing. We knew it was risky. We knew we were losing to removal, but had to make you have it. All right. Nice finish. Fun match against a viewer. Tense. Could have gone anyway down to the last draw. Yeah, we worked through, like, we knew we were going to die to that mall and had to go find our other answer for it and came up with a line that allowed us to look for it the next turn, and we found it. Whew. That's true. I would trade beating you today for beating you tomorrow. But a really fun way to finish. Thanks, Math. Let's hop to Soapbox View and at least say goodbye to our YouTube friends. Thanks for hanging out for that one. I hope you enjoyed it. I was as surprised as you are, but we got to 3-0. We'll take it. Bye. Oh yeah. Here. Wait. Well, we did profit already, but here's a farewell profit, YouTube.
I'm rich, bitch!